Hello, welcome back to King's Academy again. My name is Silent Jose. In this video, I'm going to discuss about present perfect. Okay, this is the third lesson in this series of teaching you spoken English. So we are taking in this series of videos, we are taking tenses, and in this particular series I'm discussing about present tense, and this is the third lessons in this series. So you can always follow other lessons. You can always reach me in our WhatsApp and Facebook. You can also download our app from the Play Store, so you can always reach us, and you can always reach you can always reach us by our WhatsApp, Facebook, and a website. And any doubts, we give training for IELTS, OET, and spoken English. Okay, so please follow us. So in the coming days, I'll be uploading many videos about passive voice, lessons about writing, speaking, for IELTS students. Okay, so these lessons are mainly focusing IELTS students as well as those who are trying to improve their English proficiency. So these are some of the modules in our spoken English program, so you can really improve your spoken English proficiency, because we're covering a lot of grammar lessons, conversative phrases, daily English usages. I'm teaching you a lot of colloquial expressions, English expressions. You can use a lot of common English usages as well. So please do follow our videos in our YouTube and Facebook. Right, so let's get back to our today's session. In this video session, I'm going to teach you present perfect, which is one of the most beautiful tenses in English. I'll tell you why it is very important, especially IELTS students. You have to learn present perfect. You need it quite a lot of time. I know that present tense is the simple present is the most useful for you. I have told you in the first lesson, but equally, or the second most important tense is present perfect. So in this session, I'm going to teach you what is present perfect and what are the different situations we use present perfect, and how we form present perfect, and what are its rules. So it's very simple, but I think this is the tense in English which has most diverse usages, because we use present perfect in many different instances, in different situations. So you should know about all these variety of usages. Okay, so look at that. Basically, what is it? Let's look at the situation, the definition. It's a tense showing a duration of an unfinished action. Do you understand anything? I'll tell you. When there is an action, it is happened over a period, but the action is unfinished. Okay, so in order to show a duration of an action which is really unfinished, I'll tell you when you have the example. Or if you want to say something from your life experience, we use it present perfect a lot of times. Or if you want to say, the third situation is very important, denoting a finished action which has current relevance. So if you want to talk about an action which has got a lot of relevance in the current context or in the present time, as well as we use present perfect when you want to use using some time adverbials like recently, so far, just, under, which means we use this time adverbial when you want to say something like recently, so far, when you want to say something in connection to the time. And or the last situation is speaking about an action indicating unfinished time. So what is it basically? It is more connected to life and the time. Life means when you want to speak something from your life experience, you say that yes, I have, this happened in my life. Then you have to use present perfect. At the same time, you have to use it, present perfect, when you want to say some kind of action which is not really finished, it is unfinished. So let's take some example. Look at that. Yes. First of all, I want to teach you what is its formation, how is it formation. It's very, very simple. Even its applications are very many, but its formation is quite simple. You have to put subject plus have or has plus V3. You see that the third form of the verb, which is the past participle of the verb. Now, the only thing you need to consider here, when the subject is plural, you should use have, and the subject is singular, you should use has. These are the two auxiliary verbs we use in this tense. Okay, so now let's take some examples which we have already explained in the situation. What are the different situations? Let's look into this one. I have known Peter since 1994. Now look at that. Is it an unfinished time? Which means until now. You see that the implication, the impact, the meaning of the utterance or the sentence is really imply that I have known him until now. Alright? So it's not finished, it's unfinished, it's open. I have known Peter since 1994 as of now. So this is what? Unfinished time. Now let's look at the second situation. It's very important, especially for IELTS student. We have to speak grammar very precisely, very grammatically if you want to get a 7 band. So for IELTS student, you know, the subtle feature or the minor difference of tense is really important. Now let's look at the second example here. She has lived in London for 5 years. So which means what? Look at that. She has lived in London for 5 years, which means what? What do you mean by that? She still lives there. Yeah. So which means we can only say this tense, which means she still lives in London. Okay? So she has lived in London for 5 years, which means she's still there. So she's been living there for the last 5 years. She still lives there. So that's what. It's also unfinished. She's still there. She's lived in London for 5 years. For example, I've taught English for the last 10 years or 12 years, maybe a little more than that. I'm not sure. A lot of years. Now, let's look at the next one. I've been working as a teacher for the last 12 years. Well, this is actually a present perfect continuous tense. So this is, I think, by mistakes. I don't have to put here. Yeah. Okay. Maybe. I'll put like this. Yeah. 1 second. I think I will change like this. I have worked. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's fine. So I've worked as a teacher for the last 12 years. Then look at the next one. This is something out of our life experience. I have lost my keys, which means you haven't got back your keys. The keys haven't been found yet, which means until now the keys haven't been found. Until now, as of now. So it is out of our life experience, something coming out of our life. I've lost my keys, I've lost my passport, I've lost, which means something happened in my life. I owe these actions in my life as of now, until now, so far. So I have lost my keys. So when you want to say these kinds of actions from your lives, you should use this tense. Now look at the next one. They haven't eaten till now. You see that? Now when visitors come to your home and mother prepares a lot of food for the relatives, and we would say that, oh, she hasn't eaten until now. So which means she hasn't eaten, she did not eat until now. So when you want to use this time adverbial like till now, recently, just gone, like just, you should use present perfect. You look at the example here. Yeah, they haven't eaten till now, which means until now she hasn't eaten, or they haven't eaten. Now look at the next one. This is also they have been married for 5 years, which means they are in their marital relationship until now. They haven't been divorced as of now. Until now, nothing happens, nothing wrong, everything goes fine. Yeah, let it be, God bless them. They have been married for 5 years, which means, yeah, they are in their relationship, the marital relationship, for the last 5 years. So that also comes from an unfinished action from life. Now look at the next one. I haven't met her today, which means what? Until now the time is 2 o'clock afternoon. I haven't met Jesse. I haven't met Rosie. No, I haven't met until now. So that also tells you an unfinished time. So which has an implication of the time or the current time at the moment which we are speaking about. So which means the action has a huge relevance when the time of speaking, but the action has got a lot of relevance or from the past. So the action might be started in the past, but it has got a lot of relevance, a lot of implications at the moment when we speak. That's what unfinished interval of an action. So an action, if you want to speak, which has got unfinished interval, which means you have the implication or the relevance of that action when you speak, the moment you speak, right? Secondly, we use it when you speak something out of your life experience. That's it. You use present perfect. Now look at it. I haven't met her today. They have just gone. Not just gone. They have gone. Actually, they have gone right now. Just now. So which means when you want to use some time adverbial, we use it. Now the next one. Yeah. Look at that. I have finished my master's. We know that we finished our bachelor degrees or master degrees maybe a couple of years back, or 1 or 2 or 3 years back, but still we speak what? As if we have finished, which means we have it. The impact, the relevance is still now. So we use it. I have finished my master's, probably maybe 2 years back, but we say, I finished my master's. Yeah, I finished my doctorate, I finished my MPhil, I finished my bachelor's and master's. She has completed. She has completed her homework. She's finished it. She can claim it out of her life. Yeah, she has finished it. She has completed her homework. She has not completed. So I'm just giving you some examples with negative meaning. She has not completed her homework. So as we have discussed in the previous session, If you want to make a negative statement, you just put the not with the auxiliary verb. Make sure that you use the not with the auxiliary verb. She has not completed her homework. Now let's make some negative statements. Hasn't she finished her work? Yeah. So now I'm giving you a few more examples. They have come. They have just come. They have come. Yeah. The action is perfected, but it has just got some relevance in the current time. They have come. Now how to make the question out of that? You just rearrange. You just take the auxiliary verb, put before the subject. How they come. How to make the negatives? I said you just put not with the auxiliary verb. They have not yet come. How to make a negative question? Haven't they come? Haven't they come? Now, have you eaten? What have you eaten? Where have you completed your training? How have you been? This is a very, very important. We usually use this how are you instead of how are you. Yeah. In the English world, people usually use just got some pop up. Yeah. Right. So usually in English world, instead of saying how are you, they say how have you been? Hi Tom, how have you been? Yeah, so this is all present perfect. Okay, so I hope you really enjoy this session. Here we have discussed different instances and the application of present perfect, and we learn how to formulate present perfect. How did we do that? We use subject plus has or have plus V3, I mean the third form of the verb. Now, what is the only thing is the key thing we have to remember here? If the subject is singular, we use has, and the subject is plural, we use have, and V3, the third form of the verb, which is the participle form of the verb. Alright? So, I hope you really enjoyed this session, and we will meet again with our next tense, which is what? Remember, present perfect continuous tense, which is a very, very important tense. We use a lot of situations in our lives, and until then, bye bye, God bless you.